The U.S. House of Representatives has just voted to release the so-called Epstein files. The person who gets the most credit in pushing that to a conclusion is Representative Nancy Mace, who is fearless, who has principles, who doesn't ever back down. And there were a few others that came forward with Nancy as well, and we thank them for what they have done. The American people deserve answers, but more important, the victims deserve justice. It's been too long coming. The Democrats are trying to blame President Trump for all of this. It's not his affair. In fact, that's a Freudian slip. It's the affair of people like Bill Clinton and others who abused young women. It's a serious, serious matter. But the matter's not over. It goes to the Senate. The dinosaurs in the Senate, the Republican establishment and the Democrats being totally compromised and corrupt, I might add, we'll see what they do. Because we know that half of Washington and half of Hollywood were involved in this more than great scandal, which has so harmed these women, some of which have even taken their own life as a result. Will the documents ever come out? Remember, these documents have been sitting at the Justice Department for decades. They likely have been sanitized. Probably there's not much in terms of what we don't already know that's going to be in them. This is the way it works in Washington, D.C. And the networks give you the impression that everything's going to come out. Well, it's going to be a fight from this point forward, and you have my word that Freedom Watch will be part of that fight to uncover where the documents are. We know that they could be in the National Archives even. They could also be in the computers, the supercomputer of the National Security Agency. There are telephone conversations. Remember that the NSA captures every conversation worldwide and keeps them for at least 5 years. You can imagine people who've been on the phone trying to cover their you-know-whats over what's likely and what they thought might come out. So this is just the beginning to get justice for the survivors, the women, the innocent women who have been destroyed, and others. And you've got my word that Freedom Watch will play a role in doing this, a major role. I am there for the American people. I'm there for these women. I've represented a number of women who have been harassed during my legal career. Let's just talk about all the Clinton women that were harassed and abused and threatened with death. Dolly Kyle Browning, Jennifer Flowers, Juanita Broderick, who was raped by President Clinton, Kathleen Willey, who was abused and sexually harassed in the Oval Office right after her husband had died by Bill Clinton. I've represented others, people in the entertainment industry that have been harassed, and many others, because this is something that needs to be done. Real men defend women, and women will stand up for men when they need it as well. So I want you to go to freedomwatchusa.org. Join our Justice League. Remember that regardless of the great efforts that have been made to get the release of these documents, it is very likely that we're not going to see much of anything. This is the way our government does things. It covers up, it destroys. And just today we found out that the FBI has been holding back information on the shooter who tried to kill President Trump at Butler, Pennsylvania. This has been covered up as well because the FBI dropped the ball, as well as the Secret Service. And this is the way they work. It's a CYA. Well, it's more than a CYA with Epstein because major crimes have been committed. So I just want you to know that with the courage of Nancy Mace, whatever there is coming out right now. But we will do whatever we can to get to the bottom of it and to get all the documentation and all the evidence so the guilty can finally be held accountable for their heinous crimes against these young women. God bless you. God bless America. God save America. And remember, the Father and Son will only help us if we help ourselves. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast of Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman.